Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems. Welcome you here on this Wednesday afternoon. Folks, if you can believe it, we're at the last week of February, getting ready to get started in the last quarter of the first quarter. Last month of the first quarter. It's just amazing how quickly time's going. So we welcome you here into 2026 and just let's lock in and let's see what we can do to help each other. We're here to help you. Matter of fact, today, those that are on here today, you're going to be in for a treat because today we've got Adam Phillips, who is our CEO of American Business Systems, and he's got some great new information. Everything's open on the table to talk about, but there's some specific things that he wants to address and some things that he's got coming up here throughout this year. Some great things to help you. I know that the most important thing for everybody getting started in this business is how does ABS help you get clients? And so we'll be able to address some of that this afternoon. So I appreciate everybody joining us and getting to be here on time. And we're going to get started because before we know it, just like this year is going by, an hour will go by in a click of a second here. And so we want to get started here as we get kicked off with our interview with Adam Phillips. Before we bring him on, I want to make sure that you're hearing me okay. So if you'll just find your Q&A box real quickly for me. And if you don't mind, just typing in the location from where you're calling. That's always helpful for all of us to kind of make sure a few things here. Number one, that I'm being heard. Number two, I love to find out where everybody's located throughout the United States that's joining us here on a Wednesday afternoon. And then it also allows you to know where that Q&A box is because you're going to be wanting to ask Adam some questions as we go through here. So I see that Michael's already punched in as he is from Arizona. So I appreciate you doing that. I got some other folks here. I see Akeem and Erica and Jay, Joey. So if you guys might just type on in here. Jay is from Maine. Jay, I hope that you guys are not too socked in up there. We've been kind of watching the weather down here. Looks like you guys have had some pretty big snowstorms up there. Same thing with Akeem up in New Jersey. Joey's down in Alabama. Good to see everybody. So I appreciate everybody typing in here and kind of helping us get started. Let me introduce myself. My name is Eric Auger. I'm your Director of Learning and Engagement here at American Business Systems. I kind of help coach you along on different topics as we go throughout each month here and give you some interviews with some of our business owners and doctors. And like I said today, we're going to interview Adam Phillips. Adam's been at this since, I think he just remembers growing up in this his entire life. And I'll let him share the story here in just a little bit about how his mom and dad got started in this business and how it grew and where it is today and kind of where it's going on from here on out. But Adam has been very active, not only being the CEO, but writing and being interviewed, as you'll see here in just a moment. But Adam is a participant in whenever it comes down to writing articles for a group called the Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. He's written several articles. Some got some new articles that are going to be posted here within the next year here throughout the year. But one of the ones that he did recently write was The Shrinking Private Practice and Why Billing Expertise Can Be a Lifeline. And these are two physicians. We're actually going to show you a little bit here why the adoption of artificial intelligence is actually a great win for those that are wanting to get started here. And Adam touches a little bit on that. Matter of fact, he's got an entire article that he wrote back in 2024 when AI was just really starting to creep his head up a little bit there. And he wrote an article. So if you'd like to get a copy of either one of these articles, you can always go back to your sales rep. They've got a PDF of it, so I want to kind of drive you back over to those sales reps so that you can communicate with them and just simply ask them for the article that Adam wrote. Adam's also co-wrote a couple of books, and one I'm showcasing today is one that he did with Dr. Vicki Rackner, 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. He is also the founder and the originator of an organization called MIRMA. MIRMA is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. We'll be talking a little bit about MIRMA and how they actually help you on some other engagements, especially on helping get your first client. But it is this organization, after you've completed your few weeks of training with us here, you're going to be certified by MIRMA as a certified medical revenue manager. So we love this organization. Dr. Vicki Rackner is on the board of directors of it. So it's a solid organization to be a part of, and you'll be able to carry their logo after you get your training and everything set up. Then we'll make sure that you get that all on your marketing material. So. Hey, listen, folks, without any further ado, I'm going to ask Adam to join me on here. It's so good to have him. I hope that he had some time to carve out with us this week, and he did. So, Adam, it's good to see you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Eric. I'm excited to chat with everybody about what we've got going on for the future of medical billing. So
You
thanks for
bet.
having me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into that, why don't you tell us the story of American Business Systems and how it got started here?
Sure. Well, you know that the picture is very embarrassing to me, but you always like to put it up there. So, yeah, it's a family business. So, American Business Systems, we're a different kind of company in a good way. We are not corporate at all. We are a privately held family company that was started by my parents in 1994. What is that? 32 years?
Yeah,
Yeah. So we've been doing this for a long, long time, and I've been involved with the company, like you said, Eric, basically since I was born. I have memories of my mother doing claims, and what she was doing is using a typewriter and filling out
yes.
paper claim forms on a typewriter. Now, for those of you who are too young to remember, a typewriter is a mechanical device that you would stick a piece of paper in and you would mash these keys and it would smash the paper and put a number or a letter on there. I mean, we're probably at that point where people don't know what a typewriter is. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah, we don't know what the yellow pages are anymore for sure.
right. So,
So,
so Dad ran the company for a long, long time, and I took over as CEO. I think we're going on 8 or 9 years, maybe. I
yeah,
can't remember.
yeah, it's going
Something
by
like that.
fast.
Yeah. So I've basically just helped the company continue to grow. We grow year after year, and there's always an interest in people wanting to kind of leave the rat race, get out of the corporate world, start some kind of side hustle maybe, and make some part-time money on the side. So we have people that go 100% into this, full speed, full time. They build a huge business with, office space and sales reps and data entry people and the whole 9 yards. We have other people who continue working in their current jobs. They make part-time money at this, which you can absolutely do that as well. And yeah, I mean, there's people that are obviously they start this business with a job and they can't quit right away because of the revenue that they're making, but we can help them quickly get to a point where, all you really need is maybe 2 or 3 doctors in a lot of cases to, replace your income, and you can quit your job and then go full time at that point. So a lot of different options, a lot of flexibility in how people can run the business.
Well, thanks for sharing the story. I know that it's a wonderful Americana type of story. There is no doubt about it. Remembering talking with your dad and seeing how he got started and your mom got started and you got brought up into it, and then we've seen both of our kids grow up, and now my kids have children, and so gosh, and certainly it's just a family type business that I'm certainly proud to be a part of. So thank you for having me a part of the ABS team here as well. Now, you were just recently interviewed by a group. I want you to talk about this because this is something that just recently happened. Tell us who this Healthcare Business Review is.
Yeah, so they're a company that actually reached out to me, and they found out what we've been doing, how long we've been doing it, and they were interested in interviewing me and just kind of talking about the medical billing industry, where it's going, where it's been, and how ABS kind of fits into that whole puzzle. And so yeah, so I did an interview just last week with one of the
Okay.
folks over there, and sent them several case studies. They wanted to see some case studies and see that we were really, doing what we say we're doing, which we can prove that. I mean, we've got tons of testimonials and all kinds of case studies we can send you guys if you want to look at that as well. But yeah, that's kind of what we covered on the interview there, the different pain points that practices are seeing, and how our business owners are helping with those challenges. So yeah, so look out for that to be posted online probably next month, I believe, is when that interview is going to come out.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to have, and we'll certainly post it on future webinars and the link so people can go back and listen to it. So it was great. It's always good, and they I put on this slide right before it is that they're saying that we're recognized as the top medical billing, training, and support business opportunity in 2026. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand that we kind of have a real good niche in the market, and what I
Yeah,
mean by that is for any of you on these webinars that have researched other types of, there's tons of different medical billing training programs. There's tons of different, software billing software platforms and companies that you can work with. Um, but there's not really a company that has put together a package quite like we have. And what really sets us apart is a couple of key differentiators. The first one being we are the only company that is offering a money back guarantee, which we'll talk about at the end of the webinar.
right.
We're the only company offering lifetime support that you never have to pay extra for. And you also do not have any royalty fees or territories with this business. And couple all of that with the fact that we are the only one offering completely integrated cloud platforms that run on any computer. Really, we've really got the technology that sets you apart. We've got the marketing materials and the website that you get from us, and everything that we provide you right out of the gate. You appear as a legit company. Even if you're working out of your garage, doctors are not going to have any idea that you're a small company with all the money that we've spent producing these materials and marketing things for you. So.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So way to go, and let's keep it moving. So, all right. So the title of the webinar today is what is the future of medical billing and what's the future of American business systems, and obviously kind of the elephant in the room that I think we answer every single week is this whole thing about artificial intelligence. And I know that we don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I figured let's just tackle that right here at the beginning. So folks, I will remind you that if you've got any particular questions that you want to ask Adam, now is a good time. You can start throwing those in there. But Adam, I did. You and I were on here just right before we got started here, and obviously, AI is out there. Got a new article that was sent to me. This was dated just last month about top healthcare AI trends in 2026, and one of them is obviously in revenue cycle management. So, but I know a lot of investors that are out there that are throwing a lot of money and everything out there into artificial intelligence. I think we just heard the president tell everybody that if you're in artificial intelligence, go build your own power plant yourself. So I mean, there's a lot of things going on, but the biggest question is always, and you answered it. And I'm just going to get over to here at an article that you wrote. You wrote, something about will AI ever take over my job as a medical biller or coder?
Exactly. And just real quick about the Q&A, I had to actually click on the little more button in order to find the Q&A box. So if you guys are looking at the bottom of your Zoom and you don't see Q&A, just click on those little three dots where it says more, and that's where the Q&A box is in there. Please, we want this to be interactive.
Yeah,
I'd love to know, where people are coming from, what brought you to this webinar, why are you here? Do you even know why you're here? I don't know. It'd be nice to know. If you're in a different industry, if you're in healthcare, if you're using AI now in your current job or in your current industry, how are you using it? Do you feel like it's a benefit or not? I'd love to know. But that question, every industry is getting hammered with
yes,
that
yeah,
question, and
yeah,
everyone in every industry, people that are looking to get into that industry, whatever it may be, they're thinking, well, is it even worth me even trying
yeah,
because AI is taking over? And the answer with regard to medical billing and revenue cycle management is absolutely you should take advantage of the AI tools that are becoming available because I study this stuff every day. I have all kinds of Google alerts. I'm in the news all day long, reading about this kind of stuff, and what I'm seeing is mostly good news for ABS medical billing business owners in that all of the partner companies that we work with, the software platforms, they are all working at a very rapid pace to implement AI tools that
hmm,
make your job easier and get better results for the doctors. What I am not seeing is I'm not seeing companies that are touting that their AI platforms can do every single step of the billing and revenue cycle process without a human being involved. It's not there yet. I don't know I don't have a crystal ball, but everything I'm seeing is that the AI tools are making it where the medical billing companies that are utilizing some of these things are able to, get the doctors paid more quickly and more efficiently, which is what this is all about. Um, so I still think there's plenty of opportunity for human beings to get into this industry, build a good business. That first article that you showed that I wrote about the shrinking medical practice. Yes, there are fewer private practices than there were, 5 years ago. There is a trend, though, heading the other direction. And I've talked with several people in the industry about this. I've seen several articles. There are a lot of doctors that sold their practice or, just got gobbled up by a hospital. And they're starting to look at, what? I don't like being treated like an employee. The doctors don't like their hours being dictated. They have to follow a very strict rule, standard of care rules, and they can't practice medicine the way they want to. And so, what doctors are starting to realize is, what? If I could partner up with some of my colleagues and we leave this hospital and form our own private group, then we can get much better results. We can practice how we want, you know, but those types of groups are still looking for other, billing professionals and revenue cycle professionals to help them with that side of things. So a lot of potential there. And the private practice is not going away. So there's still tons of room for people that are on this webinar to step in, start their own business. And like I said before, you may not realize how much money you can make with just a couple of doctors. I mean, it may
Yeah,
not take nearly as many doctors as you might think to make
correct.
a decent revenue at this. Um, so yeah, I don't know where the slides went. Did you turn those off?
Yeah, I did. I just wanted you just to chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll throw them back up over here
That's okay.
so that we
Did
can.
I cover that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you certainly covered it and covered it well. And I think, some of the key points that I'm going to just put up here is this, this market truly is ideal for entrepreneurs. Now, one of the things that I'd like for you to do, because there's 2 points here I'll make, and then I'm going to kind of let you share with what ABS has done and how we partners with some of our technology partners. But there's a great demand, obviously, for medical billing services, and it's kind of goes a lot with what Dr. Rackner said a couple of weeks ago. It's the complexity of the billing, the regulations, and then the physician burnout. And I tell you, doctors are needing this, but and the physicians are obviously still overwhelmed with everything else that they've got going on, let alone trying to deal with, the cash flow issues that they're having. And one of the advantages that Dr. Ratner says, and I think you've addressed it in your article, and that is when you're dealing with somebody's money, I don't think we want to leave that up to a robot or um, AI. We want to talk with somebody, and it'd be like just us. Would we prefer to go to a healthcare clinic where we're just talking to a screen, or do we want to talk with a doctor and really deal with our personal health care? We've got to look at it as that. I don't think we'll ever get away from human interaction as long as humans are around. As long as if the robots don't take over, as long as humans are around, we're going to need each other.
That's right. And it's pretty well stated on this slide here. But
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. But the other side of the coin with regard to AI is all of the insurance payers are now using AI tools to deny claims.
Yeah.
So I've seen articles that because of that, the denial rate of claims is actually going up because they're able to the AI can just look at it
Yeah.
very quickly. And if you don't have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, boom, that thing is denied.
Yeah.
So it's like, so now people on both sides have got AI tools and they're trying to
Yeah.
make their robots fight with each other,
There you go. Well, in that light, because you had mentioned that we have our system, which are cloud-based systems. I think and if I haven't kept up with anything, forgive me, but I think we have three different types of platforms that can be utilized, but they all have some type of AI help and internal bases inside of those platforms already?
Yes, exactly. And that's one thing that makes us unique is we have a lot of flexibility and are able to pivot with
Yeah,
regard to what doctors are needing as far as features. We have different platforms that work better for different specialties. So it's really cool. But yeah, the three primary partners that we are with, which are all very highly rated, by the way, like you can look them up on softwareadvice.com and see all their ratings and everything, but they're all actively working and improving and adding AI tools every week. There's new features and things, but there's all kinds of stuff. Like there's ambient listening that the doctors can use,
correct.
which basically the AI is listening to you as you're talking to the patient, and it builds out the chart as you're going in live in real time. So that just, greatly reduces the doctor's charting time. They have a
Sure.
lot of back in the old days, they were working until the wee hours of the night doing their charting and for all their patients and stuff. So that's greatly reduced that. But even on the billing side, there's coding review tools. There's all kinds of things that have AI built in. So yeah, it's just really cool. You have a lot of flexibility. The other thing I want to add is if you guys have been to our website, you'll see that we have about a dozen or so different services. Like we have a whole suite of products and services that you can offer. It's much, much more than just billing. The term I claim, we basically we white label our software as iClaim. Yeah, so you'll see it there in one of those flyers. But behind the scenes, it could be powered by one of our three different partners. The other thing is you have to remember you do not have to force a doctor to change their system. There's another way
Right.
for you to get business, and that's something that does happen frequently these days. Is doctors are they're just tired of changing software systems. They don't want to switch, and we can show you how to close those deals and continue using their current system, no problem. So they don't have to switch or anything. So I don't want anybody thinking that they have to, twist a doctor's arm into using these different platforms. Now, if they do, they are absolutely going to see improvements, in their
Yeah.
denial rate and get paid faster. But you can still do a great job for them in their current systems because you're able to focus more on those issues at hand and free up the doctor and their staff to do everything else they have to do throughout the day.
There you go.
Looks like we have some questions, Eric.
Yep. Yeah. Now I see that he said he's looking for another revenue stream in the healthcare industry and develop leaders within the industry. So Michael, are you currently in that? We've got a question for you. Are you currently in healthcare? And we would love to know if you have any other questions that we can help answer for you.
Yeah, sounds like probably so. We'll see.
Yeah.
Patricia is saying, I worked in a medical collections and a little medical billing as a patient account rep several years ago. I don't have a certification. I'm familiar with coding and modifiers. Patricia, this opportunity is perfect for you. Even if you feel like you're rusty, you've been in the industry previously, you've got some understanding of terminology, and that's exactly what we do is we give you a certification through Myrma so that you can build this business. And we actually take care of a lot of the coding stuff for you, so you don't have to be certified in coding at all. And so it just makes it very easy for someone like yourself to get involved in this business and start getting clients. So yeah, good stuff.
That's all right. Erica must be on the browser, not on the app, so that's fine. So, but if you got any questions, Erica, feel free to pop in with us. Nora's saying most of the doctors will have office managers and billing team. Why do they leave and come to us? You want to answer that
Oh,
first part?
so glad you asked that question, Nor. So this is one problem that we see over and over and over and over again is people think that most practices are run smoothly. They are not. People think that the doctors have a solid professional billing team, which yes, sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't. A lot of times, especially with the smaller practices, you have to understand our target market and your target market, at least in the beginning, is the small to medium sized private practices. So,
Right.
like 10 doctors in a group or less is really the sweet spot for us and for you in the beginning. And so, what you'll run across is you'll run across people that work in the office that are tasked with doing the billing and 100 other things they have to do,
Mhm.
checking in patients, answering the phone, who knows what. So there's that. They're overworked, underpaid, undertrained a lot of the time. And really, the other thing that it boils down to is a doctor can pay a percentage of their billing to you to do the billing outside the office, which always equals less money than they would pay an in-house employee salary
Yeah.
wise. You've got salaries, benefits, all this other stuff that they don't think about. So it's almost always a cost benefit to the doctor in terms of what they're paying to get the work done as well. But all that said, we have a practice analysis that we can teach you how to do for the practice to, gather information about how they're doing it currently and their staff and all the costs involved, and we can help you put together a revenue report that basically says, okay, based on the information that you gave me, I've identified some areas where you guys are definitely overspending, and we can do some work for this much, and here's how much it is, and it's the information that they gave you, so it's kind of hard for them to argue those
Exactly.
numbers. Yeah, so it's a whole sales process that we teach you and that we help you with every step of the way to help them really see in black and white that it does make sense to have somebody outside the office doing it. So
And whenever I was talking to Dr. Rackner the other day, she said that doctors know that it's probably best to get their billing out of the office by now. And so it's doctors know it. Sometimes it's hard for them to let go of that because they think they're in control. But once they can see, like Adam said, you do that practice analysis and they go, gosh, if these numbers are real, why would I not want to get this billing out of my office? So if you haven't, nor if you haven't looked at or worked with your sales rep here, get back with them. They'll kind of walk you through with what those look like, those practice analysis look like. So they'll be happy to help you with that. So you want to take a few more questions before we go move on? Because I want to move on to the really what do we see coming up in 2026 for ABS? Do you want to take a few more questions? Or you want to jump into
let me just do these two from Michael. So Michael was
sure.
following up saying that he
Oh
provides
yeah.
medical staffing to facilities currently. Okay, cool. Yeah. And medical billing is something that he's consistently heard about and wanted to look into. Great. Well, you've come to the right place, Michael. Thanks for typing that in there. All right, let's keep going.
All right. So one of the things that I asked of you was to get me some information of what's happening in 2026 here at American Business Systems, and it seemed as most of everything that you sent over to me to put up today has to deal with helping our brand new business owners get their clientele. It was obviously to how to help get their doctors for them. So I'm going to put this slide up here. You can kind of talk about this and what is this thing called Zoho CRM? What is all
Yeah.
this about?
Yeah, that's the one thing that I really want to drive home for folks on this webinar is our expertise is business development and marketing and helping you get clients, helping you get doctors to the finish line, all the way down to the point where they're signing a contract with you. We're there every step of the way. That's what you're not going to find anywhere else, is that much hand holding in the client acquisition part.
Yeah.
And so I am always looking for ways to help owners improve in that area and kind of widen the net, if you will. And so
Yep.
one of the things that we've added for January 1st of this year, we've added that new business owners get 1 free year of a platform called Zoho CRM. It's basically a management platform, helps you manage your leads and customers, is what that system does. But it actually, I'm sorry, it's Zoho CRM, but it's actually Zoho One is what you get a free year for, which is, if you look it up, Zoho One has like dozens of different apps built into it. Everything from accounting, invoicing, email marketing, all kinds of stuff in there. So you get 1 free year of that. And
Okay.
so we don't just give you that and say, well, here you go, good luck. You actually get access to these email marketing campaigns that we have created for you. And so the leads that you get, the people that you're out there networking with, talking to, or getting lead lists online, which we can talk about that. They can all go into these these campaigns that we help you set up. And it's basically a series of emails giving them information. Sometimes it's just giving them education about revenue cycle and just saying, hey, here's some stuff that you should be doing to make sure that you're, getting paid properly. And so you're basically positioning yourself as an advisor and not a salesperson at all. And there's also some lead magnets that are included, and there they are. So these lead magnets they're essentially ebooks that we have created. They're small ebooks, and what you're looking at here is four lead magnets that we have created specifically for four different specialties. If you see there, behavioral health, social workers, chiropractors, physical therapy. Now, are those particular types of doctors going to make you a ton of money? Not necessarily, but are they easy clients to land? The answer is yes. And so that's why we have built these for these four specialties, because a lot of these types of doctors, they actually do go out to networking events, they're at Chamber of Commerce luncheons,
Yep.
they're out in their neighborhood, trying to get to know people and trying to bring in more patients. And so these are ones that are clients that are easy to land. And that's what you really want for your first client, right? You want to just get that first client, make it easy, make it quick. And then what happens is if you provide good customer service, they're going to love the software that we've got. But if you're good customer service and they like you, they like the work that you're doing, which hopefully they will, they're going to start referring their other colleagues to you. This happens time and time again. There is a gentleman on our support team actually who also is an ABS business owner. He has his own billing business. He's built that to where it's basically running itself, and he's now helping me with support. His name's Jeff. And Jeff met a social worker at a networking event, just a single social worker. They do a very small amount of claim filing. I think it's maybe a couple claims a day. I don't even know what the number is, but it's very small.
Right.
And they're very simple to do. They're like the same code every time. But the
Yeah.
social worker just wanted someone else to do that work for them and help them with that. And Jeff said, "Sure, I can do it." Well, now he's got like 8 social workers, and they just keep coming to him saying, "Hey, we hear what you're doing. We hear what you're doing. We want you to work for us." And so now he's making pretty good money with these social worker clients. So anyway, it's pretty cool because they'll get these emails inviting them to download the thing, and then you're able to capture their info, and you can keep reaching out to them, and it's just drip marketing is what it's called, email drip
Yeah.
marketing. But so we've got all these different tools set up to help you get that going very quickly without you having to try to figure it out. Pretty
That's
cool.
that's pretty awesome. And I would assume that's part of their new, this is part of the training at this point now.
It is, and I forgot to mention that not only do we have those ebooks, but if you go to our private support website after you graduate our training, you get the ebooks, but you also get a marketing and strategy guide for that particular industry.
Okay.
So we are giving you gobs of information on these four right here and strategy guides on how to actually go out and start talking with these four practices specialties, so that like kind of like key words and key things to mention to them to pique their interest. And if you're wondering, yes, we will also help you create some of these for other specialties. All you got to do is reach out to our support team. If you have a potential lead, a potential contact that really needs some type of custom ebook, we have done that, and we will do that for other I don't know why I
And
keep saying industries, specialties.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Different providers there. So yeah, so folks, just if you want to take a quick little screenshot of this, you can, and just think of these four different silos of potential providers that you could do billing for. Behavioral health, that's a growing industry. A lot of folks that are in behavioral health are doing a lot of behavioral health telemed visits now. I know that social workers are doing the same thing. They do a lot of their stuff via telemed. Chiropractors are all over the place. So, and those folks, every one of these people that Adam has said here that are listed on this particular page, including the physical therapist, all of these folks are showing up guess where? The places that we tell you to go look for new clients, and those are your Chamber of Commerce's and BNI meetings and other healthcare industry shows that are happening. And I don't mean like trade shows. There's a ton of things that happen within a community where people are gathering together because what they know is they know other people who you don't know. And so there's always these networking type meetings of pharmacists coming together to find out, hey, how can I bridge and build my group of people, or a social worker that's trying just to see, hey, is there another doctor that could use my services? So these folks are looking for how to grow their business. And then obviously, if you're in that mix and you're telling people about your story, about what you're able to help do with helping getting doctors more money back in their pockets, these are the people that would love to work with you, and you would love to work with them as well. Adam, there was something else that really struck my fancy here today whenever you sent me over some information, and that is Sales Link. What in the world is Sales Link?
All right, so this one I'm really excited about, and I think everyone else will be too. So one of the big challenges that our business owners have, they go through the training, they get all the training, they get introduced to our support team. We give them a tour of our private support website, which has tons of information. Sometimes there's a little bit of like, well, I don't know where to go now to read about, more, whatever, like whatever you want to learn more about. So there's a little bit of hesitation when people get to the point where they need to actually meet with a good prospect who's a legitimate prospect and, has a potential for doing business. And so this is essentially what we've done is we have a few requirements of you as a business owner in terms of doing your own prospecting for leads, finding your own leads, prospecting, reaching out to those leads, calling them, and also analyzing the practice, doing the practice analysis, really get a good grasp of if it's going to make sense for you to even work with them or not. And we can help you figure that out as well. But I say all that to say that once you've done several of these qualification steps, we have ABS experts, we have sales experts that will get on the calls with you, with the doctor, with the office manager, and present themselves as a part of your team. And they are able to answer any question that could possibly be asked about anything related to billing or doing business with you. And so this is huge because there are a lot of people, like I said, they get all the way down to that point and they're just like, I just need a little bit of comfort knowing that there's someone there that has my back. If there's some type of question that I may not answer or not want to answer incorrectly. So that's what this is. And it's been going great. We've already had great success with it. And this is one of the final blocks for some people to even join ABS. It's like, well, I can't, I don't feel like I can, I'm not a salesperson. We hear that all the time. I'm not a
All the time.
salesperson. I can't do sales.
Yep.
This is not that. Anytime you think any type of salesperson that you think of, this is not that. You are not those people. Like I mentioned a minute ago, we position you as a consultant, a revenue cycle consultant, an advisor, someone who's going to, yes, you've got tons of products and yes, we can do this, that, and the other, but I mean, let's just sit down and have a chat and take a look at
Correct.
what your situation is now and see if anything that I have might make sense, might not. But yeah, so we get them down to the point where they're on some of the final, sales calls with the practice, with the doctor, and we do those calls hand holding you live on the phone with those providers. So pretty cool.
That's awesome, folks. So if you got any more questions that you have about SalesLink or Zoho or the Sales Magnet books that we have available and how all that's going to work, again, get back with your sales rep. They'll walk you through every single one of them. If I know we're kind of just hitting the high points and moving on to the next little section here, but if you got any communications or you got any questions that you have, remember that you've got a sales rep here that'll help answer all of your questions. So, Adam, those are some spectacular new additions to what they're getting here. I know the services are always great to have, but bridging that, how do I help me get to my client? has always been a progressive thing that ABS has always been doing since I've been a part of you guys. And it's always a help because that's really what distinguishes us from anybody else that might be selling a training, like you said, or another kind of business opportunity. We're really here to help them. Now, one other thing that you kind of last year launched, and I think it's all fully up and going right now, and that's a new knowledge base center now that is up there. Tell us what's different from what we used to have to what is on here now.
Yeah, so we still do have a private Facebook group for our business owners. You can only join, if you're an actual ABS business owner. And that's still live, but what Facebook recently did was shut down all of their chats. So we actually had some private chat groups
Hmm.
that Facebook just got rid of those. And so
Okay.
we actually were already in the process of building this, so that was pretty handy. So this is going to be the new location for our business owners to go and post up in the community forums, and they can communicate with each other, DM each other, whatever they do these days. And so that's been really great. And there's a huge knowledge base that we've spent months and months building up that has answers to every single possible question you could ever think of. And it's fully searchable, of course, any type of term you can search for. And so it's a very, very neat, quick way to get answers either from the knowledge base or from your peers, your other business owners out there. Yeah.
Awesome. Adam, I know that we're going to be wrapping up here just shortly, but before we do get over to that, do you have any new services? I know that I don't have a slide for it or anything, but do you have any any hidden nuggets that you can kind of give us to be looking on the horizon for?
Well, there are some things that I probably shouldn't be saying or talking about that we have on the drawing board there. But yeah, one thing I can mention is we are really doubling down on dental billing this year.
Okay.
So we have a partnership currently with a dental platform called Dentamax. They are going to be rolling out a new, fully cloud platform called Flow. And so that will be in the next couple of months, be rolling that out. And the executives that I've talked with over there in that company, they seem to think it's funny because she said, "Yeah, dental billing has kind of always been 10 years behind medical billing." And I was like, "What?" And she said, "I don't know why, but that's why there's not as many people doing dental billing because they're kind of behind the times and they still think that they just want to do it, in-house, and they don't realize someone else can do it faster and better outside the office."
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this new platform is going to really improve, our business owners' ability to get their foot in the door and show them that they can really, just like the medical doctors, they can make the
Yeah.
dentists be able to just focus on their dental work and not have to worry about the billing side and yeah, so we're real excited about getting into that market some more, trying to really dive in there and I think there's a lot of opportunity there on that side as well. And you can make, my understanding is you can make about as much as you could make with a single billing client, about the same type of
That's
revenue.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch over to some questions. I see that Jay's got a question up over there that I think you wanted to answer, and then if anybody else, we're kind of getting up to about the 15-minute mark before we start wrapping up here. So if you got any questions for Adam before we let him go here in just a moment, feel free to jump on in and go with your questions. But Adam, you want to answer Jay's question there?
Yeah, Jay says you might have many licensed members through ABS. Can you tell me the percentage of new doctors you added as clients in 2025? Okay, this is kind of a trick question. I'm not sure what number Jay wants to hear. Does he want to hear 1,000 or does he want to hear 100 or no, the answer, Jay, is believe it or not, we only have about 450 what we call active business owners that are actually actively out there promoting their business and trying to get new clients. And so the number of doctors signed up, may not be as high, as you might think, which is good news for you, which means there's more doctors out there available to be signed up. So, 2025, I don't have those numbers in front of me. I would say the average owner signs up, maybe really the average owner that just wants to keep it a small home-based business where they're the ones running the whole thing, they sign up maybe 4 to 6 doctors, and that's about all they can handle, about
Right.
all they want, revenue wise, as well as the amount of time spent doing the work itself. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd say we probably signed up maybe 200 doctors last year. I don't really have an exact number, sorry, but
Yeah, and that's kind of hard to, it would be hard to do because everybody's independent. Because you got some groups that will sign up new doctors who may not be using the iClaim platform, as you said.
that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, like you said, to your point, Eric, everyone who goes through our program is setting up their own independent business entity. They're truly an independent business owner. You're operating under your own company name, LLC or however you want to set it up, your own logo, your own website. And so, if people aren't reaching out to us on a regular basis as far as support goes, it's really tough to kind of know who's doing what with the
Yeah.
business. Yes, we do get some reporting from some of our partners and stuff, but it's a little bit harder to reconcile all of that. So
Yeah.
anyway, wish I had a better answer for you there, but that's it.
Yeah, and Jay, you may have hopped on here a little bit late. I'm not sure when you got on here, but Adam mentioned earlier that again, one of the reasons why we don't have those exact numbers because again, we're not a franchise, so we're not. It's not like you're the kind of the go-between between ABS and the doctor.
Yeah.
You are the only source. You know what you do with your business is your business.
There's no
That's
required reporting whatsoever,
yeah,
doctor
no
wise.
reporting, no franchise. That's why there's no franchise fees, no royalty fees for you to have to contend with and be worried about. I know that interviewing some of our business owners that have been around with us for quite some time, just they kind of keep laughing and kind of going pinching themselves. They can't believe that ABS is not requiring any royalty fees on what they could be making, but because it's just a it's too good to be true for them, and it has been. It's been very, very good. So,
I do like to tell people though, after they go through the training and they see how awesome it is, if you want to give us more money, we will allow that. People
yeah,
usually don't take me up on that.
yeah. There ought to be some type of tithe or something once they start doing something like that. That'd be good.